Welcome back to Crypto Meets AI. Jerry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get into this. We're sitting at $2.40, trading within a range of 234 to 251. We're up about 3.4% right now. Honestly, we're probably going to trade sideways until these ETFs get approved, and then we should see a pretty good skyrocket. After that crash, I don't see it really dropping down too much. Who knows at this point, because that crash was completely unexpected and the charts did not show it at all. Pure manipulation. When liquidity disappears, you need a neutral, instant, scalable settlement asset. That's exactly what XRP is designed for. The liquidity crisis will start in Japan. People who say it's a good time to sell XRP and buy back in when the liquidity crisis hits, they have to know and they have to understand this. The institutions will be illiquid. Imagine the exchanges. You will not be able to buy, my friends. Do not make that mistake. Came across this video from Charles Hoskins, and I don't really watch too many of his videos, but this one is a really good video, and I thought anybody in the digital asset space should watch this. They're trying to kill the Clarity Act. No, this bill must pass for digital assets to become the backbone of the financial industry. If it doesn't go through, we must vote them out. Simple as that. Let's hear what he has to say.
I don't understand you people on the left. I really don't. You're so thoroughly propagandized. What do you stand for? Honestly speaking, what do you stand for? You say you stand for democracy, and you don't get to pick your leaders. You stand for truth and transparency and objective reality, and you're the party of science and the party of intellectualism. And yet you can't even admit when your leaders have dementia and cancer and they're deeply compromised. You say you stand for the rule of law and no one's above the law, but then you're all totally comfortable when Hunter Biden gets a blanket pardon. And we just have to move on. All the garbage with the Clinton initiative and this other stuff. You say you stand for equality and equity and combating systemic racism. And when we invent a money system that can end that for everyone everywhere, you want to go and destroy it, burn it to the ground, offshore it. Doesn't hurt white people like me who are rich. We can go offshore. Hurts the minorities in Chicago who can't. What do you stand for? Honestly speaking, this is your leadership. I get that you hate the orange man. I get that you wake up every day and say 15 curses, hope for the worst for him. But you know what? In January 2029, he's gone forever. And you have to live with the consequences of the actions today. How will we pay back a $50 trillion national debt if we hand away one of the fastest growing and most valuable industries in the history of the world to our economic competitors? How will we? How will the dollars in your pocket be worth anything if we throw that away? When you criminalize an entire generation of entrepreneurs and engineers and scientists, and you push them all to Europe and to China, to the Middle East, who's going to be there to build the next generation of America? What's your plan? Honestly speaking, just print your way out of it? Regulate your way out of it? Eat the rich, tax the billionaires? Take all their money? Great, you got $5 trillion, 10% of what you need. What's next? Who's the next group you're going to go after and kill? What's the next company you're going to take?
I honestly believe what happened yesterday is going to usher in this Clarity Act. I'm not sure what's going on with the Democrats and the Republicans. Either way, like you said, if we hand over this to our competitors, we're screwed. The 19 billion liquidation wasn't a crash. It was an insider job with manipulation by exchanges. An insider made 192 million in 30 minutes. Binance lagged, CoinGlass got attacked, Hyperliquid profited. Think, the crash just exposed everything. Markets crashed after Trump accused China over export controls on rare earth metals and announced a 100% tariff on China effective November 1st. 1.5 trillion wiped out from Wall Street. 19 billion liquidated from the crypto market. Retail wiped out, yet an insider made 192 million. Just 30 minutes before the crash and Trump's tariff announcement, two brand new accounts on Hyperliquid opened multi-million-dollar shorts. Both closed them minutes after the news dropped, profiting 192 million. Both were created the same day. Someone knew. The exchanges were involved. Big centralized exchanges, auto liquidation, cross-margin collateral nuked the market, meaning exchanges themselves triggered the wipeout. A cascading auto sell wave engineered to drain retail liquidity. They don't liquidate by accident. They liquidate by design. Then suddenly, Binance reports system overload. CoinGlass, which tracks liquidation, goes offline under a proxy attack. Reports of Wintermute closing down. At the same time, almost like someone didn't want us to see the numbers in real time. Finance. Due to heavy market activity, our systems are under high load. Some users may experience intermittent delays or display issues. We're actively monitoring the situation and working to resolve it. Thank you for your patience. My ass, this same problem happened with me on BitUnex. I was trying to buy in and it didn't even show my assets were there. It was doing some crazy stuff for me for about 30 minutes. And then once the price came back up to above $2, 220, I finally gained access back to my account. I'm sure that was just a total coincidence, huh? 19.14 billion in liquidations, the biggest single-day wipeout in crypto history. For comparison, the COVID crash, 1.2 billion. Chump change compared to that. FTX 1.6 billion, not even close. This 19 billion. This wasn't a crash, it was a controlled manipulation. Liquidations are a big part of an exchange's revenue stream. Solana just exposed how corrupt the system really is. Under heavy demand, 99% of transactions failed, wiping out thousands and forced liquidations. The only ones that got through, the insiders running the validators. Everyone else got wrecked. That's pretty messed up to me. They should not be allowed to manipulate the market like this. This should be illegal. I believe it should be investigated. Did the crash just trigger the Clarity Act? The crash proved one thing. We are desperately in need for the Clarity Act. When billions vanished, exchanges freezes, and insiders trade freely, it's clear the system runs on manipulation, not transparency. The Clarity Act isn't just regulation. It's the firewall between corruption and a fair on-chain future. Clarity Act is Ripple's ultimate unlock. Legally separates digital commodities like XRP from securities, meaning Ripple can leverage XRP as a neutral bridge asset across regulated payment networks. Once enacted, Ripple's ODL, RLUSD, and XRPL hooks, XLS30 and XLS70, can integrate directly with banks and stablecoin rails, enabling programmable liquidity and instant cross-border settlement without legal friction. The 19 billion crash exposed how exchanges decide who gets to trade. DNA on-chain flips the script with on-chain private identity, ZK-proof access, and liquidity you own, not borrow. They can freeze accounts, but not cryptographic truth. Some say it's already leading to a new on-chain system, a clean slate where retail can't front-run institutions anymore. Out with the casinos, in with the infrastructure. Looks like the perfect liquidity reset before the next financial system upgrade. Guess who's been building the institutional settlement layer for years? You know it's XRP. In a world where everything is faked, wallets, volume, insider manipulation, XDNA stands as a self-verifying asset. Your wallet is your ID, your transaction is your proof. End-to-end encrypted credentials, personal key infrastructure. Keep your eyes open. Every crash has a beneficiary. It still amazes me that crash happens just before these ETFs are going to be popping off. The SEC door cracks open. XRP ETF filings reloaded. Canary Capital and 21 shares just filed fresh amendments for their XRP ETFs, and insiders say it's not just another update. This could mark the final sprint before approval. The shock move. Two major issuers, Canary Capital and 21 shares, just refiled their amended XRP ETF documents with the SEC. Why it matters. These filings are now aligned with the SEC's new generic listings rulebook, replacing the old 19b4 approval grind. Translation, faster path, fewer delays. Regulation just flipped. For the first time in U.S. history, the SEC's new generic ETF listing standards allow exchanges like NASDAQ, CBOE, and the New York Stock Exchange to list spot crypto ETFs without full individual approval. The old system, 240 plus days of red tape. The new one, 60 to 75 days if the criteria is met. That's not reform, that's a revolution. The new rulebook, Canary and 21 shares updated their filings to match clearer custody plus redemption procedures, enhanced surveillance sharing, SEC's top demand, full compliance with SEC feedback loops. This is the kind of cleanup you do right before launch. Speed favors the first. Under the new framework, the first ETF to meet the standard automatically gets the first lane. Forget 2026. We could see XRP ETFs live in Q1 2026 if the SEC stays on schedule. The race is on, and Canary and 21 shares are putting the pedal to the metal. The catch. This isn't a full green light yet. The SEC still wants answers on XRP custody plus commodity classifications, liquidity and market manipulation controls, creation redemption mechanisms. Here's the key. It's no longer if, it's prove it. From no to show me. The SEC tone has flipped from hostile to curious. Once Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs proved liquidity plus transparency, altcoin ETFs like XRP, Solana, ADA became the next logical step. This is the SEC's quiet pivot to legitimacy. What to watch for next. Next milestones to track. The SEC acknowledgement letters confirming receipt. Exchange listing notices under the new rules. Effective S1 status, the green light moment. Conditional approvals if SEC adds requirements. Whoever goes first gets the ETF inflow flood. Hidden risks. Let's stay real. Risks remain. SEC could pause approvals midstream. Political noise, shutdowns, and election shifts. Non-BTC assets face tougher scrutiny. But the direction of travel is clear. The big picture, these amendments aren't just technical filings. They're the final lap before XRP's institutional era. Every box checked equals less delay, more pressure on the SEC to approve before 2026. Momentum is building. The verdict, the SEC's once locked door is now open to crack. XRP just stepped through it. Next stop, acknowledgement letters, listings, Wall Street grade XRP access. Brace yourselves, the ETF era isn't coming, it's here. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. And if you want more crypto deep dives, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember to always do your own research. This is not financial advice.